Okay, I had a couple of problems with your video. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Um, I don't know if you're a pastor or anything, but we're both Christians, so hopefully I'll be able to clear some things up over the research I've done, because I think a lot of the stuff you said were really just hypocritical. So, first I want to say it's because of harder music style bands that many people are saved. The church is too afraid to approach certain topics like teenage problems, like suicide. Because of songs like Skillet's The Last Night, many people are saved. Um, you can see the people who respond to Skillet in the concerts, in video responses, in letters. They're all talking about stuff like that just from one song. And it's not just that one song, but it's the whole album. It's all of their ministry. It's not just Skillet, it's Thousand Foot Crutch, it's Flyleaf. It goes on and on. The list goes on and on. Many of your quotes are from rock and roll founders, from the secular artist viewpoints. Well, of course they're going to say it's bad. They want rock and roll to be bad. That's their whole rock and roll point. That's their whole attitude. But if you take the viewpoints of Skillet, Decipher Down, Thousand Foot Crutch, Flyleaf, POD, Toby Mac, Bono from U2, if you look at his work and his writings and he says in front of the interview cameras, all of these people, they'll tell you that it's not a bridge from heaven to the world, so that, like, the world's music can still be cool, but rather from the world to heaven, so they can use that music to glorify Christ, so people can understand, so in their own musical treatment. Now, the Bible scriptures you said are all very true. There's no arguing that. As in, music is used by the devil, but it's also used by God. You said it yourself. Amazing Grace. Great song. But for example, if you have like Animal I've Become by the secular artist 3 Days Grace, where they're searching, but they're not sure what it is, what they're looking for. They're just becoming something bad, something hideous, an animal. But, you know, just don't know. That could lead people astray, because people listen to it because they don't know what they're becoming, but they want to know. So they might find it something wrong. But say you take an artist like Skillet and their song like Forsaken, where they admit their own faults and only by God can they keep on. That's two examples of two different views being used by two different supernatural powers, God versus Satan, with the same genre of music, which would be like a grunge, industrial, awesome rock. Um, or how about even like a genre I'm not even particularly fond of, like hip hop? Eminem is a clearly hurt and pained rapper, but how many Christians are going to pray for his salvation and healing? Like almost nobody. All we ever do is condemn Eminem. KJ52 raps in Dear Slim Part 1 and 2 about how he is praying for him, but when others look down on him, that he is there, and so is Christ. In Part 2, KJ talks about how people switch their listening from Slim to KJ because it brings hope and love and shows the love of Christ. God used KJ52, which is, if you take it out, it's King James chapter 5, verse 2, to save these people. If everything you said is true, and that there's no benefits to Christian rock, hip hop, metal, punk, hardcore, ska, then it would be clear and present danger, and nobody would be saved through this ministry. And that's what it is. It's a ministry. And if that were true, then as Christians, we would have no choice but to stop this devil's music. However, on the opposite, if an outstanding number of people are being saved, then we have no choice but to embrace it. Now, that doesn't mean you have to love it. Everyone's going to have their own musical preference. But, and that also doesn't mean it's going to be in your church. You're not going to hear rapping or screaming or edgy guitars or loud drums, because that's not their arena. Their arena is traveling the world, talking to as many different people as possible, going on tours, going all around the world so they can get the message out. That's the point of a musician in general. I mean, even if you look at Hillsong United, they're from Australia. They used to be a worship band. Now they're doing worship music still, and many people love it. But they're rarely in Australia anymore. They're always doing world tours. It's the same thing, just different genre of music. Um, Sorry. Now, like I said, that's not their arena. But if you'll admit that Christ is using these artists under his power to save the lives of non-believers all around the world by the power of this edgy music, then I dare you to message me back and take down this video. Replace it with an apology to Christ followers who do this. Redo the research as I have, because Christ loves all, like you said. Their music glorifies him. And as you know, the teens are the adults of tomorrow, the Christians of tomorrow. We are the church of tomorrow. And now it's because of videos and arguments by pastors and Christian elders. I presume you're one of them. I don't know who or what. But it's because of pastors and elders around the world who make up videos and arguments and sermons like this that make it so hard for Christian musicians to get their word out. Because if Christians on their own side aren't believing or praying for them, then how are they going to expect non-believers to pray for them?